Hi friends! If you click to check out what my March favorites have been skincare, nail polish, makeup, and other things, then please keep on watching. Hi, my name is Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I am a fitness professional who loves things, all movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeup, so you can head over to my Instagram. Perhaps I will start with my most favorite thing out of all the items that I have. It's just seeing everyone come together in this very bizarre and unsettling time. Our country has been going through a lot of division. I feel that every time I logged onto the internet, there was a fight going on all digital platforms. Now with what's happening, everyone is coming together, sharing, being there for one another. There has definitely been an upleap of kindness, of empathy, of just being there for one another and coming together as a community. If there's a favorite thing that I saw this month, is that, and having you guys here as well, and just having you share your experience just so we can look out for one another, so that we can better know what to do, how to protect ourselves, and collectively I feel we can benefit from that. And I definitely sense a heightened morale, more hope. And I think even though the days are hard and people are going through rough times financially, mentally, and everything in between, I can honestly say though how we all been coming together and being there for one another has been inspiring and empowering. So thank you to everyone who has just positively contributed, to anyone in your life. Thank you to the healthcare workers, to the delivery men and women, to caretakers, to the employees at supermarkets, to anyone who is an essential worker out here risking their life on a daily basis and helping despite what's happening, keeping the world running. We thank you, and you all are definitely favorites not only of the month of March but forevermore. I have to say I did not pick up any new skincare in the month of March, but even so I wanted to share the products that I did present as favorites back in February, and just to give you an update on them because I've been really loving them. I've been using them every day, and they are the Jung, the 2x Barrier Intensive Cream, and the pH 5.5 Relief Toner. So I'm almost halfway through the relief toner. I primarily use this in the evening time after I wash my face. I explained this further in my February favorites video. It's not like I rely on toner to rebalance my pH, as I had said in videos past. I was totally wrong about that. I really appreciate its healing capabilities, very soothing to the skin, and especially since I am a tretinoin user, the tendency for irritation is there. In order to mitigate that, I try to use products that are very anti-inflammatory, very healing in that way. So I've been using this every night, and followed by the Instree Spot Saver Mugwort Ampoule. I've also been using this every night after the Jung Relief Toner, and I really like this product. I didn't mention this in my February video, but I like that despite its liquidy in texture, it absorbs quickly, and I like that. It looks like a droplet initially when you deposit it, but it just absorbs very quickly and nicely into the skin, and I really like that process. I think it's just very easy to apply. It's fragrance free, so I've been using that and have been really happy with the results. And just to quickly go over, the 2x Barrier Intensive Cream has been my evening moisturizer of choice. I feel like I'm almost done with this as well. During the day I apply the Good Molecules No Silicone Primer Moisturizer. That's a little more soft matte in finish. This is a little more emollient and moisturizing, as I believe it has more occlusives in it, which I think is more ideal for evening anyway, and that's where I keep it in the regimen. I've been loving those products, and listen, I've mentioned this as a favorite months past. I'm still using my Neogen. I'm almost done with this one. I have a new bottle in the closet, and despite the onslaught of new essences, ampoules, serums, and toners, I've just stuck to these products, and I think consistency is key. Less is more, and that is one thing I have learned last year, knowing to do less. The skin is an organ. It could do bad all itself. Yes, it needs to be protected from the sun and being in an urban environment, you are more exposed to pollutants and dirt, exhaust, and I feel just protect your skin. That's all you need to do. You don't need crazy fancy stuff. And yes, I'm sure there's overwhelming data to suggest that essences don't do much. They just feel good. They add a luxurious step to your skincare. But I like that. I like that. And it's just one. I used to apply like 3 of them. I'm done with that. Complexion. Friends, I am caught up in the rapture of Tom Ford and I don't care. What can I say? I received these products maybe sometime last week, if not 2 weeks ago. I don't quite remember. All the days are a blur right now. When I first used this Traceless foundation stick from Tom Ford, I understood why this was a lot of people's favorites, why this was a standout luxury product within the luxury beauty realm, and it is extraordinarily beautiful. The texture, the application, I love the color. I have 6.5 Sable. I think it is dead on a skin match for me, and it is such a pleasure to apply. I just love how, despite how emollient it is, the way it dries down on the skin is just beautifully smooth and has a lovely natural finish that I feel can be layered. If you want to start off sheer, you can stay at sheer. If you want to build up to medium, if you want to go full on coverage, despite you applying more of this stick, it's not going to look heavy on the skin, even if you're looking to achieve a higher coverage. And the fact that it's multifunctional, you can use a different brush. As you see here, I use the 02 Cream foundation brush that, happy to report, yes, it was shedding at first, but I washed it and now it's not shedding as much. It's probably due to the fact that these fibers might have been hand bundled instead of machine bundled, because if these brushes are made in Japan, it just leads me to believe, despite this being manufactured with synthetic fibers, that they were still hand gathered, much like how they create their natural fiber brushes. And I can go in with the 03 small concealer brush to spot treat, and I even went in with the 01 foundation brush, same foundation stick under the eyes, and that served as my concealer today. Sure, it didn't have super crazy coverage, but it was enough to blur any darkness that I might have had, to even out the skin tone. This texture is sublime. I was just floored when I first applied it, and I've been using it every day. There is just, I don't have any words. Despite how much I love the Traceless, I do have to give a shout out to the Mented Cosmetics foundation stick. I really love this stick when I reviewed it and when I used it for the first time. Now, what I will say is the advantage the Tom Ford has over the Mented is simply the shade match. I have L30. I think I am L10. I do have their sample card that you can purchase from their website for, I believe, $5. The Sable shade from Tom Ford is a much better match for me. It's hard to see here because of natural light, but this is my skin tone. This is a little too bronzy all over the face, and perhaps, sure, maybe later in the season I could get away with that look. For now though, if I were to use the Tom Ford, I will use it more in the center of the face, and then I could use the L30 more to carve out my cheekbones and add a little bronziness to the forehead. But I like the texture of the Mented, and I think between the two, I would recommend the Mented for normal to oily skin types or oily skin types. This has a touch drier of a finish in terms of the texture, and I would definitely recommend those with oily skin to use the Mented over the Tom Ford. Tom Ford definitely looking from normal to dry, or even combination. If combination, keep the Tom Ford on the outer perimeters of your face, and then the Mented, if you have one shade or several, maybe lighter on the center of the face, just to keep that oil at bay. Or maybe you won't look as shiny with the Mented on the center of your face because of the more matte dry down. I also have to talk about the shade and Illuminate palette in 01 Intensity. That's what I applied here on the demo, and I use the 01 foundation brush because I love the paddle design of it. I feel it just buffs this cream beautifully into the skin. This texture cream contour is unlike anything I have tried. Despite its emollient feel upon application, you can even feel it on your finger when you go from palette to finger. It just buffs into the skin and leaves behind a beautiful natural finish without looking greasy. It does not disrupt your foundation placement. It doesn't move things around. It just sinks. It's such a sublime texture that I'm still to this day floored by how long it took me to try this. Now, namely, it was because of the price. At the time, Nordstrom, Neiman, Saks, Bergdorf was having 25% off, but Selfridges actually has Tom Ford for a lot less than any of those online retailers. And I have the global yearly shipping subscription. So if there's anything Tom Ford that I want, like 25 to 30% off, that's usually the regular retail price on Selfridges. I'm just gonna go there from now on. Amazing shade. I just love the color, and the highlight shade is like an iridescent cream. It's so simple but so effective. If you just want like a lightweight highlight effect on the skin that's more dewy and luminous, right? Because it is a cream texture. I applied it with the 04 brush. It just slaps it on right where I need it to go, right on the highest points of my cheekbones, and it plays so well under a powder highlight. And I put the Reflects Gilt right on top. Another favorite, of course. I won't gush too much over it because I did so in my Tom Ford video. If you want to check all those products out, I will link that video up above and down below. That texture is just so lightweight, and to layer the Reflects Gilt powder highlighter over the shade and Illuminate cream highlight is a perfect combination. I absolutely love it. I absolutely love how I have that glow. The cheeks look wet, but the texture does not look heavy. It does not look uneven. It does not look powdery. I feel they're user friendly, even for the makeup novice that steers away from highlighters because it's just too much. There's too many textures to choose from. No matter how they apply it, it looks artificial. It looks like it's sitting on top of the skin. All these products just blend. Foolproof, and you will be left with the just most effortless, luminous glow on your cheekbones. This bronzer, I hate how much I love this bronzer. Now, shout out to Susan Darling. She commented to say, listen, I will not buy this bronzer because I cannot tell if you're wearing a Tom Ford bronzer. Susan, my love, you are right. But I know that I'm wearing one, and that's okay with me. Listen, this is an indulging, over the top, too much I paid for makeup purchase. I'll put it out there. Ridiculous. During these times as well, ridiculous. But you know what? There's something about this texture. There's something about the tone. And I swatched this bronzer with not all my bronzers in my collection because that would have been a very long video, but my most standout bronzers that I have been rotating heavily through. And I find there's something really special about this texture, about this shade, the way it just buffs into the skin. And granted, I use one of my FAVS brushes. It's just effortless in application. You can build it up. Despite the gold flecks in here, I feel they are still very finely milled. I don't think they sit on the skin. They don't look artificial. The color is just outrageously beautiful. I am a fan. I'm very happy with Gold Dust, and I love it with my other bronzers. I love how I could apply this over the shade and Illuminate. And this compact, the compact is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, there's nothing like this. Screams just summer Soleil glow. The name of the bronzer, I feel Soleil glow when I see this compact. It's outrageously gorgeous. And I get it, I have a lot of bronzers, but friends, there is something so effortless about this one that I feel I don't get the same experience from my other bronzers as much as I love them, okay? I have a lot of bronzers that I love. This application is just flawless. It's flawless, and I like that it's on the lighter side for me, for my skin tone, because on days where I don't want to fully commit to a bronze look, I can rely on this tone to give me just the right amount of warmth that's not going to warrant a heavy makeup look, a heavy eye look. For instance, I could just slap on mascara or put that same bronze shade throughout my crease, and it's just like a chill, low makeup to no makeup day. is lovely. Next up, I have to shout out Mented Cosmetics again. Their blushes, hands down, one of the best products they have to offer. I have Clay Too Much and Pinky Promise on. Clay Too Much I applied right over Gold Dust from Tom Ford, higher on the cheekbone, so it just could give me that lift. But the hue is so beautiful. It has a red tone to it that I think is so unique. And I just love how it melts, especially with this bronzer and any bronzer that you might have. But dare I say, you could just use this by itself without a bronzer and just apply it where you would a bronzer in the hollows of your cheekbone, and it gives you that lift and sculpt despite the shade. And with Pinky Promise, I applied that more on the apples of the cheeks. This has a little bit of a gold sheen, but it doesn't look glittery on the skin. It looks radiant and luminous. It brightens the complexion. It gives you a nice flush effect, and I feel these blushes are effortless. I love the design of the compact. It just feels high-end. They feel heavy. Beautiful standout product from Mented. Bravo. These are amazing shades. I might end up getting the other two, Berry something and Peach to the Stars, something like that. Why not? I mean, I'm so impressed with these shades. I might as well just have all of them. Oh my goodness, all the freaking eyeshadow. So I gushed over the newly formulated MAC shadows they released with the Alexa Demi campaign. These are not all the shades in the MAC line, but these are the ones that released with that campaign. I just bought all of them. I have some of them on this eye here, and I really loved the shade selection. I love the different textures they had in this collection. Now, unfortunately, I will say the one fail-ish part about the Dazzle Shadow Extreme. For instance, this is considered a Dazzle Shadow Extreme, but is a little creamy, and dare I say, is a little more satin in terms of finish. Because yes, I agree, when you hear the word, see the word dazzle, you're thinking flex, starry night sky, and I feel other shades that don't have that same dazzle title are a little more dazzling. So there are some inconsistencies, I feel, with how a lot of these finishes are labeled. But all in all, like, I tapped that shade here between the hot pink shade, which I have on the majority of the lid, and then with the matte I applied that shade that I swatched here on my arm right between those two, and it's a beautiful shade. But if you want dazzle, like, I would consider the Kaja Bento Box Dazzle, Astral Solstice from Mama Pat, I mean, a lot of her finishes I feel like are super dazzle to me. So if you're looking for that effect in these shadows, some of them have it, some of them don't. I feel, for instance, the Olive, which is considered a Dazzle Shadow Extreme, is definitely more appropriately titled that name. You see there's a lot more shine that exists. I feel there's a lot more sparkle. So you kind of have to decide which single will work for you. I think getting the singles is more cost effective. You can make your own palette. You don't feel inclined to like get little pots of, you know, the shades that you like and have all these MAC eyeshadow singles sitting around. Like, a lot of people roll like that, and that's totally fine. I rather just get the single pans. It's cheaper than getting the whole compact. Make your own palette, curate what you love, and you're done. I had to give it up to Mel Cosmetics. I am so happy they did not let us down with the Rust palette. The Mel Cosmetic 10 pan eyeshadow palettes have been hit or miss. They haven't been really consistent. And we as Mel Cosmetic customers were disappointed, as we were so impressed with their stack formula. Not only the mattes, but with the metallic finishes. They're beautiful, they're high shine, they are creamy, they're just like full bodied in terms of texture and dazzle, right? The 10 pan formulas were a little bit of a letdown, and I think Millennial Pinks might have been the worst out of all of them. I like 27 a lot, although the metallic sucked in that palette as well. The mattes I felt were really good, but with Millennial Pinks, you needed a little bit of elbow grease. I kept the palette because I love the color story, so I made it work. But Rust, friends, oh my goodness. I actually have the Rust on in addition to Another favorite, I mean, the Mented Cosmetics eyeshadow palette is outstanding, and I have demos for all these Mented products in my Mented video if you want to check that out. I also have a demo using the Rust palette. I have a 4-look video on the review video, and then with the Biba Showdown, I did, I think, 3 more looks using Rust on one eye. So if you want to see these shadows in action, I have plenty of content for you to indulge in when it comes to that. But these shadows are amazing. I was so impressed and so happy they came through, especially with the metallic shades. I have the shade Redox, the more pinkier bronze, on the majority of the eye, and then I have Tarnish, the more goldy bronze, more on the inner corner. The mattes are outstanding. They stick. They don't just like blend away. They have body to them. They have great performance and great richness. And I love doing the showdown videos because I really love your insights on the comparisons. And despite this being very much neutral overall, Biba, for instance, from Natasha Denona is a lot more soft, is a little more not in your face. This, again, despite the neutral shade, is a little more in your face. It's a little more bold. I feel like these undertones are just, as the name implies, rust, heavy, just like, yeah, if I could make a sound for the Rust palette. And I just love Rubbish is so beautifully unique. I know it's like a neutral brown, but there's a little bit of mustard in there that doesn't make it look completely mustard, right? Again, outstanding palette. I love this palette so much, and I'm so happy again Melt came through with the quality on that one. I didn't mention this in my other video, but I love my Hakuhodo brush roll. I got this a few months back, and it just makes it so easy to set your brushes up for travel. It just fits nicely in whatever you're carrying, and you can order a separate brush towel, which I love. It's just a simple square, but the fibers are really soft and really gentle on the brushes, and you just put whatever you want in this brush roll. It's soft, but it doesn't feel cheap. It's lightweight. It's made in Japan, and you could fit a lot of brushes in here. And lots of times I have like a to-go set that I put aside that I know when I do have to travel, the brushes are there. The thinking has already been done. I have whatever I need for my eyes, for my complexion, it's all there. And then I put the towel, I fold it, I place it over the brushes, flap that over, pull it in, wrap it up, and you're good to go. This is an outstanding product. I got this off the Hakuhodo website. In addition to this brush accessory that they offer, their freaking brush soap. This is the mini brush soap bar. I have the bigger bar in my bathroom. I don't know what it is about this freaking soap. It is so highly effective, but yet gentle on the bristles. It gets the makeup off fast, and it rinses quickly too. It rinses clean. They have a vermilion soap that might have some fragrance. It's a beautiful looking soap. It looks like a translucent orange. I opted for the clear. I stayed fragrance free, but I kept it in the pouch because in case I'm not traveling anytime soon. If I happen to do so, however, this is what I will take with me just in case if I ever find myself really needing to wash my brush. It's outstanding, and it's more on the expensive side. The bigger bar of soap will cost you $18, but let me tell you, because a lot of you had expressed your concern in terms of how should you clean your Hakuhodo brushes. You don't want to ruin the bristles, you don't want to do this, you want to do that. Hakuhodo breaks down how their soap is specifically formulated for their brushes, and a lot of their brushes are on the same high caliber ranking as the Hakuhodo ones, so I feel confident and reassured that this soap will not ruin my brushes. So if you're looking for a soap, I will highly recommend the Hakuhodo one, and all links will be down below for all these products that I'm speaking about. Lastly, we gotta end with nail polish. I have the newly released Holo Taco Unicorn collection. I keep all of her boxes. I have the first release box, I have her holiday box. This is her unicorn box. Unfortunately, the white nail polish is a little tough to work with. It's very goopy, and I understand if you're trying to do a one coat white that it can be on the goopy side. So you just have to be careful and have, or just paint your good hand and then use another color for your non-dominant hand, because I don't know how well I would have done painting my right hand nails white. But I will say, however, her Cosmic Unicorn Skin, she came out with 3 unicorn skin flaky top coats. This top coat you don't think is going to be anything, but the flakes though, they have so much shine. They have so much shine. It's like they have their own little flashlight. You could even see that purple glow emitting from the nail polish. So I have the Cosmic Unicorn Skin on the white. It's really hard to see, but on this I have it on a Cirque color. I believe this is Ghost Rose, if I'm not mistaken. Speaking of Cirque colors, their most recent Still Life collection. What is this color? Look at this freaking color. It is beyond gorgeous. It's a neon, but it's like a pastel neon. It's a very light green. It's a cream finish. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love this shade nail polish. I cannot stand it. And all the shades in that collection are beautiful, so well curated. They have cream finishes, and then they have the more iridescent special effect top coats in that collection. I think I had a Fiori on my last video. It was like the pastel purple, ridiculous. That with the Trompe el Ol. I'm so sorry about that. And I Love Nail Polish, they had their own Hatched collection. It was based off, you know, Easter eggs and stuff like that. But the pastel base has like little specks in it. I think that is so cool. This is in the shade Sunday. It's like a strawberry milkshake color. It is gorgeous. I love ILNP. I mean, I have a bunch of their multi-chrome nail polishes. I can't get enough of those. I bought like 10 of them. And they have their multi-chrome flakies. Let me just say, I am on the constant lookout for a sale. Constant. And lastly, we have lips. Shout out to Mented again for their brand nude lip liner and lipstick duo. You could buy these separately or as a bundle. I have the brand nude liner and semi-matte finish lipstick, and this is what I have on my lips now, and it just gives me like a real nice 90s vibe, man. I know it's not like a beigey nude, it's just brown enough to give my lips that shape, that voluptuousness, but I still consider this a nude shade. I just love the tone. I love how it meshes well with a lot of eye looks I pair with it. It's a great color. And I also have Dope Taupe, which is a little deeper in tone, and that's a matte finish. I wear that as well. I mix it up together with my other beiges, but this shade on its own, I love. It's like a smoky nude on me, and I can't get over it. And I love the liner, very creamy in feel, just the ease of application. Still, I would say moderately long wearing, right? I still consider the Mel Thompson and Christian Audette collab lip liner to be a little more long wearing than the Mented Cosmetics one, but it's a beautiful shade. It just gives my lips such great shape, just great lining, and it's again just a beautiful all around pairing. I have been wearing these two nonstop. I'm so happy I went with brand new. That is a great color. Many of you suggested I get peach, something peach, please. Listen, I'm not done shopping from Mented Cosmetics, okay? I slowed down a bit because of the Tom Ford, but that shade is definitely in my basket. That is it, my friends. Those are my March favorites, and some, of course, as you saw, old favorites from February that I still use in the skincare category, and just great makeup picks I feel for the month. And despite what's going on, despite how you might feel really down and the energy overall in our communities, what's going on in our cities is very low. Don't feel guilty about just putting on makeup and having a good time with yourself, even if it's for 5 minutes. Because we have to remember, despite what's going on, life can still go on, and you don't have to feel guilty about that. Going on with your life does not mean you have to be unaware. It does not mean you can't have empathy. It does not mean that you cannot feel bad or feel sad for someone who lost a life, or knowing someone who lost a loved one due to, as T from Nappy Headed Jojoba will say, the Ilnana. But if you feel inspired to create, if you feel inspired to dive back into an eyeshadow palette you haven't used in a long time, go for it. Go for it. Do it. Maybe it will make you feel better. And know that there is someone who's going through the same mental dialogue as you. You're not alone. So we have this space just to share our love of makeup, to share opinions about it. And if you have been shopping, and I know money is tight in a lot of places and you feel bad about shopping, listen, we're all adults. If you have it in your budget, if you're able to buy the makeup, don't feel bad about buying the makeup, and don't feel bad about loving the items that you bought. Yes, should we be a little smarter? Maybe we don't buy as much as we usually do, not during a time like this. Absolutely. But if you want to buy something, if you had your heart set on it, go ahead. Go for it, because this economy is looking rah. And if you want to slap on some makeup, take a selfie and feel good about it, that's what you do. Let me know what your favorites have been for the month of March, friends. And until then, that is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, get ready with me, monthly favorites, Wednesday yay or Friday night chit chats. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.